He handles everything. You're live? Okay, we're live. Am I supposed to hear the music or we're good? Okay, no music. All right, what's up, everybody? You're listening and watching a brand new episode of Put You On. It's a series that my co host, my lovely co host, Blue, came up with, where we put on wrestlers, indie wrestlers that you may have not heard before, or up and coming, and we wanted to give them a platform. So, this is my first time doing it. I was supposed to do it a couple of weeks ago with another indie wrestler, but things got, schedules got conflicted. But I'm happy and excited that my first guest is Amber Rodriguez. What's up? There you go. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. I'm good. Like I said, I'm excited. This is my first time. Like I told you right before we started, I'm a little not nervous, but it's just like it's me doing it solo. So I'm just like, I rely on Blue, even though I'm the popular and I'm the best host of the show. I still I still rely on him. So it's a little nerve wracking. But how was your day? I know you told me you were tired and everything like that.
Yeah, so between all these flights and going to the gym and training and still working my 9 to 5 and having clients here and there, it's just been nonstop. And then my baby, dealing with her, so man.
And so you definitely wear a lot of hats, basically.
Yes, yes.
So before because I know we have a match that we're gonna watch. It's a tag team match. Actually, it'll be our first one actually on this series.
Mhm.
But before we get into that, I wanted to get to know you a little bit more and have obviously our viewers get to know you a little bit more. Obviously, as you know, you're a wrestler, so take us back. Like, how did you get into it? Who inspired you, and so forth.
All right, well, here we go. So I was 15.
Okay.
Me and my brothers, huge fans of the product always. And long story short, when I was 15, me and my brother Chuck Lennox, due to a Google search, found a local wrestling school, and we just decided to get from the crowd to in the ring. We started originally with at the time it was Gilbert's Pro Wrestling Academy, and then we lateraled over to MCW. And
Okay.
I mean, as far as who inspired me, um, a lot of people like Mickey James, Jazz, of course Trish and Lita, Shawn Michaels is probably like one of my biggest inspirations.
Okay.
Him and Triple H, and so yeah.
And that's where it started. So, would you say growing up you were more of a WWE fan, WCW? Like,
we,
where did you lean towards?
on Monday nights we always flip back and forth, but I always favored WWE or WWF at the time.
Right. Okay. And then you're originally from where?
Originally from the DMV area.
Okay.
So yeah, and then now I'm over here in Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama. Okay. So I'm sure that's a culture shock.
Yeah, the military dragged me here, kicking and screaming.
Okay. That's right. You said you mentioned that you're a military vet.
So
Okay.
like developing a country accent slowly but surely, and it kills
I
me.
hear it slightly. I hear it
Uh,
slightly.
well, luckily I get back home. Yeah, Thursday, because I'll be
Hmm.
at MCW Friday and
Hmm.
Saturday. So hopefully that.
So it's funny that you said that. Like you're developing like a slight accent, and you said you're from the DMV. And as an Afro Latina myself, I know like it's a big thing in regards to like representation in this industry, especially it's a white male dominated right industry. So how do you feel in like I want to say the past year or even just in the past couple of years in general, you hear a lot of black voices coming out and making a name for ourselves and just we want to be heard. So what's your take in regards to all of that and you being a representative in regards to all of that?
I mean, just as a woman of color in this business, there's always been some challenges, but I feel
Hmm.
like we are making huge strides and making progress. I mean, two black women main evented WrestleMania. So I mean, like
Crazy.
we're
Yeah.
definitely we're definitely getting to a better place. I feel like it's come a long way, and it's only up from here. Honestly, I've never been one of those people to kind of like nitpick and find the wrong in every situation. Like I've
Right.
on the brighter side when it comes to stuff like that, especially since you have to acknowledge that there is still so much happening. You know what I mean? Like there is there's more representation that's being given to us. Like, you know, we have come a long way. Sure, there's a longer way to go and there's still room to
For
improve,
sure.
but we're not where we were in the 90s. You know what I mean?
For sure. Or even in the early 2000s. So
Exactly.
yeah, definitely. What do you feel like, what's your basically what's your experience has been, again, being a woman of color, and just like you said, it's not like it was in the 90s or in the early 2000s. Like a lot of some people say that, we've heard accounts that it's been a struggle for them in regards to just getting their self through the door. Some people it's been a positive experience just in wrestling. What's your experience been like?
I've been blessed, honestly. I have wonderful mentors and, you know, just people that I look up to. And there's so many women before me that went through so much so that, you know, the younger generation doesn't have to. You know, I look at women like La Rosa Negra, who paved the way in a lot of ways and, you know, broke down a lot of
For
barriers.
sure.
You know, just women like that, strong women that have had so much crap thrown at them. You know what I mean? And it's like they stood in the forefront and took it so that, you know, the next, like I said, the next wave of,
Pave the way,
yeah,
essentially.
women
Yeah,
have to go through that. And so with that, you know what I mean? It's great that, you know, again, I'll use her for an example. She's still out here doing her thing. And it's great to see that so that, you know, the younger generation of girls don't get spoiled. You know what I mean? And
right.
they still see, you know, what, you know, their OGs went through, you know what I mean? And, you know, continue to be humbled by it. I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From that. And you know what I mean? I feel like I'm in the middle of two generations personally, but, so I do feel like I kind of have the best of both
Both worlds.
sense.
Yeah, no, it does. So when you say that, being that you would say that you're in the middle, like in the best of both worlds, what would be your advice to people that are trying to get into this industry? Again, specifically people of color, women. What would you give the younger generation in regards to advice?
I would just say, you know, be humble. Definitely, uh, come in and just, you know, it's annoying when you in every wrestling school you see it in the new classes. You got like the know-it-alls and you got like
Yeah.
that are there for the wrong reasons. And but
Right.
there's always at least, you know, one or two good ones that are driven and humble and there for the right reasons and want to learn and are passionate. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just say just have a good attitude. Like attitude can make or break you. Like it may sound cliche, but it's really true. Like
It's the truth.
your
Yeah.
your demeanor and the way you respond to things, the way you take advice and feedback and stuff like that all will make or break you.
Yeah, for sure. And I think in any industry in regards to that type of advice, you want to just be humble and just taking advice and not necessarily go in like you know it all, right? Because that's not going to leave a good impression. So
And then
don't
you're
make some lessons.
honestly also like, you know how you have like bad kids or something, you're like, man,
Yeah,
what are the parents like? It's like that for wrestlers. It's like, oh, what are the trainers like? So
yeah,
that's another thing. It's like you're also a reflection of where you come from or where you come out of.
for
So
sure,
that's a whole nother thing.
for sure. So you mentioned earlier that you're a military vet, right? You're an est. I tell you, this is one word in the that kills me. And it's funny because I always see an esthetician every month, get the facials and everything, but for whatever reason, I cannot say that word. So I
So
said
many
it.
ring announcers. I've had
Huh?
so many ring announcers I've had to have discussions with because
In regards to that word?
I've heard esthetician and like I've heard the worst of it. Like some don't even go for it.
Listen, it eats me up all the time. It's like literally, I want to say within this month or this past couple of months, I finally like been able to say it, but there's a hesitation there. So nonetheless, we know that you're an esthetician,
That's a
right?
good
A certified one.
still too though. Like you can like, you know what I mean? Like yeah, good about it.
So we know you're that, right? A certified one, a military vet, obviously a wrestler, and you're also a mother. So how do you juggle just your different lifestyles? Like you say, you say you're tired, you're on this plane and you're that plane, and you have clients and what have you. So how do you juggle all these different careers?
Ugh, I'm honestly still figuring that out. Like I'm still trying to make sure I get my rest. I it's ironic because
Mhm.
I am, not to sound cocky, but in a way I'm a provider for self-care.
No,
For
go ahead. Talk your stuff. It's fine. Do what you got to do.
yeah, like I give them like they're getting their self-care by coming to see me and getting,
Right.
the hydrofacials, the body contouring, waxing, whatever. But
Mhm.
I myself am still trying to like, girl, you need some self-care. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm still trying to navigate through that and like squeeze some time in just for me, because
Mhm.
I realized the hard way very recently, like, just from not getting enough rest, that, if I keep this up, like I'm not gonna be good to anybody,
Yeah,
you know,
for
and so
sure.
be able to continue to do what I love. I want to be able to, show up and do the things I need to do and be there for my baby. So I'm still trying to, figure that time out. Even if it's okay, I just got home from work, I can sneak in a nap in for an hour. So
Right.
still trying to figure all that out. And I got a shout out to Brian. He assists me with like my social media, and sometimes he's my publicist, sometimes he's my personal security. Sometimes he's like an assistant to me. So I just got to shout out to him, and that guy, he really is my family, because like he just helps keep this well-oiled machine going. So
Shout out to Brian H. Waters because he's definitely like he's a jack of all trades, right? In regards to I was just having this conversation with someone saying like this man, like he's always on it in regards to whether it's promoting his show or someone else's show. It's just like he's always out there doing it. Although I have a bone to pick with him just because I feel like every so often he wants to like do things with Blue and then I'm just like left out. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the issue in regards to yeah, I don't get it. Like we're cool. So but no, definitely shout out to him. And I agree in the sense of like when you said self-care, right? Not only you have to you at the end of the day, right, you have a lot of people that rely on you in regards to like you said, your clients, your the people that you work with in the ring, and then your daughter, which you also mentioned to me that essentially you're a klepto, that you steal her fruit snacks. So what's the deal with that? And then lie to her and tell her that there's no more. So I was like, that's why I said, I'm like, I hope she's not watching this because she realized mommy's a liar and
here's the
liars
thing,
aren't good.
what you're not going to
But I'm not listen, I gotta side with the youth, right? We gotta
do.
teach the youth well to do the right thing. You're not doing the right thing. So
We're not lying. See, I am protecting
uh
her and caring for her
okay.
dental health.
Okay. But so you bought the fruit snacks and now you're twisting this story in the sense of like you're protecting her dental. I'm not buying it. I'm not really feeling it.
I'm basically the heel in my own home. So
Right, and as we'll see in this clip, like you're essentially are a heel. So you're a heel in the wrestling world and then in real life. So okay, copy, I got it. No, so what is that? Like in regards to fruit snacks, do you like really like is that a I
Welch's,
don't I'm trying
Welch's
is it
fruit.
like a I'm trying to think of a word, not a guilty pleasure, but just like something that you just gotta you have to have fruit snacks,
Yes,
essentially.
I love fruit snacks.
Okay, the face that you made that very clear. Okay, cool. Okay, I respect it. I love fruit snacks too, but I don't think I would go ahead and steal from kids. But
Hey, I brought her into this world. I have a right.
okay, enough said.
Don't
But
get no.
in regards to discussing a little bit more in regards to being a mom.
Yeah.
I know you said in regards to juggling like the work life, but how is it in the sense of juggling your careers and then again, coming home and being a mom and obviously having to be there because that's obviously important.
Any time she asked me to like play with her or read her a story, or like she'll, pull her dolls out or her toys out, I never say no.
Okay, that's
I
good.
And that's a big thing for me. It's super important because I just hate being that, oh, I'm too busy. And it's like, man, like these are moments that she's like 15 and giving me an attitude.
She's gonna bring it right into your face, and you know when
Yeah.
girls grow up, it's kind of like this clash with their mothers. So for
And not
sure,
that, but it's moments that you can't get back.
for sure,
She's only
for
going to be,
sure.
this age once. She's only going to be this size once. You know,
Yeah,
I'd hate to look back on these times and be like, I wish I was there, or I wish I saw that. You know what I mean? So
right.
yeah, I never say no when it comes to QT. We have a Freddy Krueger Fridays. whenever,
Oh man.
whenever I'm actually
Oh,
home on a Friday, we watch
okay.
scary movies. Yeah, my 4-year-old is really into Freddy Krueger. That's, I don't know. I'm a good parent,
Well,
but
yes, yeah, yeah. You watch scary movies and you steal fruit snacks. Yeah, you're a great parent for sure. Absolutely. Well, listen, she's stronger than me because I'm the absolute biggest punk when it comes to like Halloween movies. I refuse. I think the last time I watched a horror movie, it must have been about 8, and I watched Scream, and I was forced to watch Scream because all the kids at the party wanted to watch that when I wanted to watch Lion King. So she's much more brave. She's a little bit more braver than I am, so I'll give her that. We have a comment from P. Nelson 1990 saying, Amber Rodriguez, I really appreciate what you bring to the wrestling community. I really like your heel gimmick character. How did you come up with this gimmick?
well, it helps that I am really an esthetician. You know what I mean? I just had one of those, like, I guess, light bulb moments one day.
Right.
I was driving to training, and I felt like I was starting to blend in too much. Especially
Yeah.
with the whole evil queen thing. Like everyone's a queen now. You know what I mean? So it was
Right.
the goal is always to stand out, right? And so I'm a huge fan of the show Botched, and
Yes. And that's on E, right?
yes, and Nip.
Yeah.
I was huge
Yeah.
for that. So yeah, like I was on the phone and I said something. I forgot what it was, but I was like, it was something in regards to a procedure, and I was like, what if I like did that like on an opponent? What if I did like my real life esthetician career, like in the ring? Man, I should just be an esthetician. Like in wrestling,
Yeah.
it all just kind of came together. And it was one of those ideas you have where you're like,
Hmm.
I could have been did this. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, better late than never. And this
Yeah.
character is really, it's my baby because it's it's art imitating life. So it's fun for me to do. I have so much more fun in the ring now since I switched it up.
And
And
it's authentic, right? So
yeah,
it's really you. It's just like taking it up another level.
like to
So
even if someone were to try to imitate it or steal like an idea or whatever, it's like you're not licensed though. Like you don't have these certifications. Like you don't
you
actually
don't have these certifications, so you can't do what I do. I
exactly.
hear you. I got you. So it's funny when you mention that, right? So it's not too many, obviously, not too many people that have that type of gimmick. We've seen in regards to like when Kane, well, I forgot what was his name back. Someone has to remind me. Back in the day, Kane had the he had actually the dentist gimmick, right, before he actually became Kane, right? And then you see someone like Britt Baker, right, who's an actual dentist, right? So obviously you're doing the indie scene right now, but I'm assuming the goal would eventually be to sign to, let's say, Isaac Yakum. There you go. Thank you, Blue. You know what? The one time I can rely on you, I appreciate you for that. Um, so yeah, going back to in regards to like Britt Baker, you see she does AEW, but like on her off days, she has her clients. She does the dentist thing. How do you feel in regards to, let's say you get signed? I'm assuming the goal would be to sign to AEW or WWE or whatever, like a big promotion. Do you think you'll still be able to juggle those type of careers, especially like with WWE, right? They do live shows, so you may not have as many off days. Whereas, say, let's say AEW really only has what, one day that they work, and then whatever. So do you feel like as you continue to grow and progress in your career, you'll be able to juggle both?
I mean, that'll only, only time will tell with that,
Right.
because the goal is to sign with a major promotion. Um, However, like if, my esthetician clients kind of start to fade into the background, or like, kind of take the passenger seat. I mean, I love what I do. However, wrestling is my first love. It's always been, my dream, and I'm big on chasing your dreams. And that's the beauty, no pun intended, and being an esthetician, because any type of trade job or
Right.
trade career, it's
Mhm.
not going anywhere. People aren't going to stop going to an esthetician. You know what I mean? Like it's not going anywhere. It's always going to be there. You know what I mean?
You want
Whereas,
something to fall back on, essentially.
right, whereas that contract can be once in a lifetime.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense. So we obviously know what you're picking, basically, if it came down to it.
yes.
Got it. Okay, it makes sense. Before Last question before we actually jump into your match. Does your daughter enjoy wrestling? Do you think that she'll follow your footsteps?
She's just really starting to get into it. She's a huge Sasha Banks fan. I'm just not cool enough for her. I don't
I'm
know.
sorry. Everyone knows that that's my favorite wrestler. So see, me and her been bonding. She's not here, but we've been bonding. So it's all love.
Yeah. She
So
doesn't even
you don't
back down. She says Sasha Banks. Like, my mama wants Sasha Banks, and then she does the thing.
do things, yeah. That's so she's gravitating to it.
Yes.
Do you think can you see her possibly like wanting to follow your footsteps and becoming like a wrestler and
If
taking
that's
some bumps?
to do, I'll support it. I always say, like, I'm not gonna be like one of those parents, like, oh, you're gonna do this. Like, I'll support whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't involve a straight corner. So I'm
Listen, nah, I hear you. Okay, cool. So at Blue, we get into the match. Well, in the meantime, guess why he's getting ready to pull that up. P. Nelson 1990 also said, if you could have a dream wrestling match with anyone, whether it's from NXT, AEW, or independent circuit, who would you wrestle and why?
like past and present, or just, because
Sure, it can be that, past or present.
I say Jazz.
Okay. Shout out to Jazz. Me and Blue interviewed her around WrestleMania weekend. It was like kind of like a dream come true to
Yeah.
interview a legend. So shout out to her. Why Jazz?
Just she's someone I've always looked up to, especially, as a woman of color. Again,
Right.
that whole pave the way thing. Um, and then somebody I watched so much coming up, so it would really be an honor. I've been blessed to share the ring with a lot of legends, such as like Lita, Victoria, and Mickey James, and so she's one on the list I haven't gotten to yet.
Well, listen too. Even though she's retired, but I feel like she's still taking
Nobody's ever retired.
Yeah, no one's ever right. Like I always see her like every time on Twitter I see her post like, oh, I'm taking bookings now, whether it's matches, this, that, and the third. So you put it out there in the universe, it'll definitely happen sooner or later. Um well, what anyone in regards to present, so we have past with like a past legend would be Jazz, who would currently you would face, guy or girl?
Hmm. Trisha Dora,
Ooh, that's a nice. I would like to see that
so talented.
for sure. And I know she was like number one on the what is it, BWI list,
The
if I'm
PWI.
not mistaken. Yeah, the BWI list where it was just for
Yeah,
specifically for black. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'd be one that I like to see.
yeah.
Um, okay, hold on. So we're good, or you're gonna play from there. Or you're gonna you wanna from the promo, Blue.
You're asking. Okay, so you're asking me.
I'm sorry.
You're
Or
good.
do you want to play from the beginning? It's your match. It's your word right now.
Oh, it's up to you guys. I don't mind it from the beginning.
Okay, cool. Um,
Welcome back to Memphis Wrestling. We have women's division
All
action
right.
coming up next, but first,
Shout out
we
to
have a big announcement, and I wanted to bring
So this
a
is
couple of stars that
Memphis
are going to be
Wrestling
revolving
Championship.
around this
That's
big
the
announcement out
promotion.
here
yeah. So
right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the women's
with
champion, Smoking Hot Nikki Lane.
Hold
And
on one second.
Rebel
You're breaking up
Cal
a
makes
little
her
bit.
return to the Wrestle Center.
Okay, I'm sorry. Say that again.
I was saying, so you know how there's like championship
Rebel
wrestling.
Cal, welcome back to Memphis Wrestling. Nikki Lane, you have a big match coming up in just a moment, but we also have a major announcement
Okay,
that
cool,
involves
cool,
the two of
cool.
you. Are you excited about this?
Yeah,
I
am
think
excited
the
about this. Do you
audio.
mind if we make
I hear
the
what you're saying, but the
announcements? We've
audio is
been
kind of
talking
like,
about it all day. It's something that we really want to share with
yeah.
everybody. Nikki, you think we should let them in on
Okay,
our
I think that might be better. All right, we got the star in the building. So in regards to this, so it's obviously a tag team match. Is this like a budding feud that was happening, or is it
Yeah,
like this? Okay. And
yeah.
what's the background in regards to this?
At the time, it was that face though. It was me beefing with their at the time champion Nikki Lane. We had this appointment that she would never finish. Something would always come up. So this is another one of those. They brought in Camille Brickhouse and kind of paired us off.
And how was that facing Camille?
I'm sorry.
How was that in regards to facing off against Camille as
Oh,
well?
great. It was great. She's, just an amazing person to work with. And yeah, I mean, she's just, it's funny because, gimmick wise, I'm always talking about, people's faces and features and stuff, but she's very beautiful in person.
We can't admit that in character.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get this fight in the ring. It's bell time.
And then your tag team partner was Skylar, right?
Yes, so she is actually one of their students. She's training there, and that was her first match.
You know what? I don't want to sound rude or anything, but I could tell that there was obviously a level of experience, in regards to everyone, and that I can see you like guiding her and you know, you
And that,
guys guiding her essentially. So I
yeah,
could see that it was, she's very fairly new.
yeah, that's not rude. That's just it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So everyone starts at some point.
That's true. And she had some good partners to work with. So she was in good hands basically.
Yes. Ooh, so rude.
No, teamwork's so important in tag team wrestling, and they don't have very much of it. Collar and elbow tie up, and Camille just showing her dominance.
She's such a powerhouse.
Yes.
The way she threw you down over there.
Yeah, that was shoot. She was solid.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, you sold it very well.
Of course, I'm Dustin Starr, along with Pete Pranica.
And how long have you been working with this promotion?
How long has it been? It's been I'd say about 6 months now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they've become one of my favorites to go to.
And why is that?
Just good. It's a good place to work. On TV style wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it's TV. So
You're right.
it's a good place to get that experience. And there's so many wonderful just agents and just people who serve as mentors there, like Austin Lane, he's great. You know what I mean? Just there's so many brains to pick. Justin Starr is also very knowledgeable. So it's just a good place to just soak up some knowledge, and you know what I mean? Like you never stop learning. So like, go and just learn a different style of wrestling. So I always say TV style wrestling is so much different than just from watching your average indie show.
Right, because I'm assuming you have to, in regards to know where the camera is at and whatnot. I hear you. Blue asks, when are you coming out east?
Yeah, so I'll be at MCW Friday and Saturday. Friday,
This upcoming Friday and Saturday.
yeah, Friday in
Okay.
in Hollywood, Maryland.
Okay. But when are you coming? I'm assuming when you say east, I'm assuming he means like up north.
Yeah,
Anything up north?
yeah. Maryland, right?
Is it really? Yeah. So yeah, he's more so like the tri-state
Like,
area, like New
yeah.
Jersey, New York.
Man, I don't know. I gotta look at my schedule. I
Booked and busy that we don't know.
yeah, the closest I was a hybrid in Philly last.
Okay.
So and I know they'll be bringing me back soon. So I'll definitely keep y'all posted.
Definitely. Patrick asks, hopefully I can see you wrestle for Hog or Battle Club Pro or BCW.
I'd love to as well. Let's keep putting it out there.
There you go. You definitely gotta keep putting it out there.
Yes.
So obviously we have Skylar right now in the match, but you basically work. It seems like the majority of the match, and you're like we discussed, you're a heel. Have you played face before?
I have.
Okay.
I'm not. I prefer heel. I like to think I'm versatile. But I'll do whatever
you're supposed to. So, but why? I notice a lot of wrestlers always say that they prefer playing heel over face, and why is that?
Well, for me, it's more fun. It's more natural because I hate people anyway. So,
agreed.
Yeah, it's more natural to me. And even when I am a baby face, especially with this character, I'm not a come on, let's go kind of baby face. I'm kind of still me, just in a different situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're just essentially a good guy, and it's kind of hard when you think of your name, right? It's the mad esthetician. I said it. It's like how can one be a face with that? That's your gimmick,
Yeah.
Right. So it makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, to play that, to be face. So we have Skylar in there, and then she hit that DDT.
Yeah.
And another reason I can tell that the reason why she's new, just because by the ring attire, it just seems like, you know what I mean, just like workout gear.
Yeah.
So that I definitely respect that.
Yeah.
I always said I wanted to get in the ring just to take a bump, but I'm also scared of pain. How is it that like when you first take a bump?
Oh man, it's the worst. But over time, your body kind of becomes a little calloused to it.
Okay.
And even at the same time, you never really get used to it per se. It's just, you know what I mean? It just doesn't suck as much as it did the first time.
And they say that with like running the ropes too, right?
Mm-hmm. Same thing. Your body just kind of gets a little calloused, and it hurts the next morning instead of right then and there.
Okay. Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're trying to get the tag.
I love a good hot tag.
It gets the crowd hype.
Yeah.
Patrick said, I'm definitely going to tag local promoters in my area to get her booked. Exactly.
Please.
That's what we love. For sure.
And that's another thing I've noticed recently, like, ooh, that boot. Fans' voice, like, they really go a long way. Like I've seen people like request someone so much to where promoters will actually end up booking them. So, don't sleep on fans.
I think that's one of the most important things. If you can definitely get people behind you, it's like sky's the limit, because then they'll ride for you, right?
Exactly.
And you even see that we see that right with like a lot of AEW wrestlers, right? I've noticed there's been a trend in regards to like up and coming wrestlers, and it's just like when people are behind them, it's like social media can be like such a powerful tool.
Yeah,
She's the leader
absolutely.
woman. Spear on Amber Rodriguez.
That spear, man.
Does it.
Why you let her spear you like that?
Winners.
Man, you see that girl?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with her. That was an awesome match.
Thank you.
Girl, Skylar didn't do anything. She left you out for dead.
Man. That's why you got to keep watching. You'll see what ended up happening with me and her.
Something tells me that it doesn't last long between
Yeah,
you two.
those.
So just to I guess quickly to wrap it up, what would you in regards to your style? What would you would say your style is in
um,
regards when it comes to wrestling?
it's funny how it changed from like that first period of time I was wrestling to when I came back from my break. And then from when I took a little bit more time off in July, then I came back in August, and now I'm leaning more towards working like more of a powerhouse.
Okay.
Look at these things.
Exactly.
Oh, I've been in the gym.
I hear flexing.
Yeah, man, not flexing. It's just
It's just natural. I'm
yeah.
sorry, I forgot. My bad.
But yeah, I've been in the gym every day, and now I'm working on, like I said, never stop learning. So, and it's never, you can never be too comfortable to, not want to switch it up. I'm always changing it up. I'm always looking to stand out. But yeah, so now I'm leaning more toward working like a powerhouse, whereas before it'd be, a little bit of technicality, I'd throw a little lucha in there here, here and there. But yeah, now I'm just trying to yeet girls.
That's it, powerhouse, exactly. So we won't have the same issue that we had with Camille over here with this
Man,
spear and whatnot, and this big boot that she gave you. I mean, come on, you're supposed to be representing for us, and you just let
hey,
her.
you know how you got that like bully in high school that talked a lot of crap, and then like they had that one, they came across that one.
That was her.
Yeah. See, I've been in
I
the gym
hear
every
you.
day since then. So
I hear you. So definitely the rematch is must see essentially.
oh yeah.
I hear you. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything that you want to plug in or any up? You've already mentioned a couple of shows that you're gonna do, just to reiterate, and then where people can find you at.
Yes. So, like I said, Friday and Saturday, MCW. The weekend after that, November 20th, I'll be at Mission Pro in Conroe, Texas. I'll make my return. However, the Mad Esthetician will be making her debut. After that, back at Championship Wrestling from Memphis. You can follow me and keep up with me at one Amber Rodriguez on both Instagram and Twitter. Shop AshleyReneeBeauty.com. I am the CEO of my very own skincare line. So
You better go ahead.
if
That's what I like to hear. You
you want
better go ahead.
to
There you go. Exactly.
Ashley Renee Beauty and get you some holistic skincare products. We have no preservatives, no parabens. So shop our skincare. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks
So
for
she's
having
for sure. She's definitely telling you wrestling fans and you wrestling people, you don't have to be, crusty. You can still be a wrestling fan and still look good. So get the products. That's it. Thank you so much for joining me. You can follow us at the Mixed Tag Show next week. I'm not sure who Blue has, but yeah, Blue will be up next Tuesday. And you can follow me at Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE, and also Blue because I'm a great co-host. So I'm gonna, shout you out as well. You can follow him at Blue Magic Grind. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think